Hey, hey, hey! What's up?
Planet Onion.
Hey, what's up, Onion people? Mikey here from Team-2, and today I have for you the Supreme Kai of Time deck list that I managed to take top 16 spot in recent Zenkai Cup event in Europe, best of one pre-site. Yeah, going 4-2. Pretty decent, not the best, but yeah, let's go into it. I'm gonna go through deck real quick as it was already covered by my teammate Ollie, which we played almost the same list. The main deck is the same, the differences are inside and in the Z deck. The link to the link in the description will be there, so we can check it out and see what Ollie has to say about the deck. I will go more about the plays and strategy of the deck. So first we have a front side, burst 3, draw 1 on swing, awaken when you have 8 or more cards in warp or 4 life, draw 2 and take life down to 6. On the awakened side, when you overrun, you draw and you take 3 cards from your warp to your drop. Activate main once per turn. For 1 black, you choose 1 card in your hand and drop it. And you can play Unison or with energy cost of 9,000, with power of 9,000 and no specified costs from warp or drop with marker on it. And you have the second activate main. Once per turn, you can crit a life, place 2 cards from warp to drop to make your overwhelms basically stay at the end of the turn, which is a very significant effect, and with the recent dashback support it gets even better. So that's about the leader. Talking about the unisons, of course we play 4 Demigray unison, like what else you can say, it's archetype unison. Then we have the Overwhelm 3 package, which is 4 Trunks, 4 Vegetas, and 4 of the Gokus. Trunks, draw 2, warp 1, Vegeta crit, you can burst 3, and the Goku, basically cooler counter, or Overwhelm 3 with the Trunks effect, or discard 1 search for Vegeta or Goku Xeno. Very significant card, especially in blue matchup against Hutch. So this is the Overwhelm 3 lineup. Then we have the Overwhelm 6th lineup, which is Goku SS4. You can take black battle card from your warp with energy cost between 3 and 7. The most consistent Overwhelm in the game. Then we have the dashback support, which is the Trunks dual attack, Overwhelm 6 dual attack. When he swings, you can combo card from your warp, and then, or you can actually charge it with your Z energy to your Z energy. And the Sun Goten Overwhelm 6 double strength. When it's played from your hand, you draw. Permanent. When this card would be removed from the game, it's removed from the when it card removed from a battle area, it is removed from the game instead. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's kind of like nerfed because if it wasn't like that, without the permanent, this card would be even more broken than it is right now. Activate main, limit 1 for 1 black. You can play it from your warp if you have Trunks Xeno card in play, which is this guy or the small guy, and you have 2 or more energy. So that's one more. It's the Broly. I think it's the worst Overwhelm out of all of them, and probably will be taken out of the deck going further. Then we have the best anniversary support, which is the Masked Saiyan. Like, nothing more to say about the card that has 1 energy cost, deflect, warps 2 battle cards, no restriction, and has a crit, and you can play it turn 1 if you go second. Then we have the defense lineup, which is 2 Gohan rares, 3 supports, 3 Kais, and 2 Super Kamehas. The same as in my Goku Xeno list. I really like this lineup because it's very flexible and very consistent, and this is like necessary evil because you don't want to top 3 for your counter early on. You want to keep your aggression going with your energy, so this is like a card you need, especially like gammas and topos and stuff. Comes in candy sometimes, but if you don't need it, you just charge it or side it out. Then we have the super combos, like Vegeta super combos, nothing else to say. And then we have 3 secrets in the deck, which is Champa, Thwarting, and actually a secret, the most broken black secret. And the Broly Overrun, which I mentioned earlier, will be changed with the second Champa, probably, or the Bardock Overrun, which is actually in Sideboard right now. So yeah, the idea of the deck. Actually, I will mention I will go through the Z deck first, and then we'll mention what's the idea of the deck. So the Z deck is pretty straightforward. 3 surmounting, 3 Boo. Sorry for the proxy, but I borrowed 1 Pan and 1 Majin Buu for the tournament from my friend. I don't own them yet, but they are coming. So the Buu is 1 energy, 1 Z energy blocker, activate main for AOD, which I'm not gonna cover. Activate main limit 1. You can drop 1 more Z energy to absorb a card underneath him and get plus 20k until the end of your opponent's turn. Very powerful card and very hard to remove without using skills because it's a 25k on your opponent's turn as well. And Pan, the dashback support as well, which makes your leader effect more broken than it was. For 1 energy, 2 Z energy. When you activate your leader skill to crit a life, you actually gain a life back from your deck to your life. And activate main Bond 3 Xeno cards, you warp something from the field. So the Broly is not really needed in the deck because you have a lot of removal already. So it's kind of a niche play. Like you barely use it as an overrun. You mostly play him from your warp if you have nothing else to play. But I'd rather play Boo and Pan instead of the Broly because it's like 25 and 15k swing as well with the leader effect. Like more utility, more removal. Yeah, not really needed that Broly overrun. Then we have the sideboard real quick. Bardock overrun. Your Floodgate, very good card, especially against aggro matchups and blue matchups running Gohan Secret because you can actually stall them when they want to go for a push turn. Dabura, Ritual Hand, Necessary Evil for hand control decks. You can only 2 because you can take it back with your Goku overrun. And this deck doesn't draw a lot, so you kind of need it just so you don't die from a random hand distraction deck. 2 Koitsukai against Arrivals, Android 16 and Cooler, most likely. 3 Shins against the GT lineup. Black Smoke against the GT lineup as well, and against the Gamma. D-Magic Hate, and SSG Trunks, SS3 Gohan. That's a very good card against the Gohan Secret because he can be free played if a black card from is removed from your battle area, and Gohan Secret removes everything. So he gets played after your opponent plays the Gohan Secret. So the first swings go into the blocker, or you can actually Kai negate the Secret and then defend through with the blocker the swings afterwards. Very, very handy because Gohan Secrets of course bottom decks your life, so you have less life to make your free play defense live. You most likely will be able to play either Token Negate or a Gohan Ram. So you kind of want 1 more negate so you don't have to actually combo so many swings out. So yeah, the idea of the deck is that you wanna basically kill turn 3, turn 4, and you wanna dig to your secret as fast as possible. You have the most broken combo life as early as it's possible. The secret is really, if you see a secret in this deck, I feel like you have like a really strong advantage over your opponent. I think overall the meta is like, if you draw a secret faster than your opponent, you basically kind of win. So yeah, you want to dig through the deck as quick as possible to get your secret going, get your champas going, and if you see either secret or champa, yeah, I think you're pretty set up for turn 3, turn 4 kills, depending on if you're going second or first. If you're going second, you kill on turn 3 most likely. If you're going first, you kill on turn 4. That's only because you can't swing on turn 1 if you're going first. There is a kind of difference between going first and second, but if you are familiar with black decks, they don't suffer as much as the other cards from going second, because you can start off your aggression way earlier. And actually in the mirror matchup, I think going second is better, because you get your secret first and you can like threaten your opponent before he can actually threaten you. So yeah, let's go through the mulligans for both going first and second. So ideally in both scenarios you want to start with a unison, but if you go first you want to start off with trunks, and ideally you want to start off with this guy and this guy. Of course you can't like count on a hand like this, but if you have a hand like this, you are probably on a way to win the game. I will just go through it real quick. The most important part are these two. This is okay if you draw the unison, but like having over and 3 in your opening hand is the crucial part, so you don't miss on it. So I'll go through the perfect hand so you can see how aggressive the deck is. So if you start, you can't swing, so you can't actually do anything on your turn 1, but turn 2. You first swing with leader, you have of course the burst effect, then you play your trunks, and you draw 2 and warp 1. And then you have to make choice if you want to dig through the deck more or not. If you don't want to dig through the deck more, you warp your trunk, you warp your Goten and play it from your warp. If you want to dig through the deck more, you warp something else from hand and play the Goten from your hand, so you get an extra draw. And you play as well this guy. And as you can see, it's 1 damage, 2 damage, 3rd critical damage, 4, 5 damage, 1 critical, turn 2. So your opponent is basically 4 life or 3 life on your turn 2 going first, so he's at 1 energy. So going into his turn 2, he has kind of limited play line, because he has to keep energy for defense, so he actually doesn't die next turn. And you don't want to play unison turn 2 when you start. You want to keep it until turn 3. The deck doesn't draw a lot, so you want to keep your hand healthy, and by playing in unison you actually kind of make your opponent swing into it, possibly removing everything else from the board. And you don't want to go through to this. You want actually your opponent to swing your face if possible, because you will take your life anyways to 6, and ideally you want to be at 5 anyway, so you have your token negates ready. And then after turn 2, obviously turn 3 you aggress more, you awaken, use your leader effect to keep your overruns, and then turn 4 you go for the game if you didn't kill him already with your SCR. So going second, there is a variation. You don't really need the Goten in your opening hand, because you won't be playing him turn 1 because he has an energy cost restriction, the energy restriction. You want to open with the Revived Ravager Vedita, because turn 1 you will swing with 10k, then you will overrun into this guy, burst 3, swing 15k crit, play this guy, swing 20k crit, so you have 3 damage turn 1, both 2 of them are critical. But the most important part is you have your 3 cards in your drop for your next turn, and then after your opponent plays his turn, your turn 2 is like you swing, drop 3 cards so you have 6, you play your unison, then you overrun for 6. Any overrun 6 will be good, like Trunks, Goten or Goku, but this will give you enough cards in your warp to awaken, so you draw and take life down to 6. With burst and leader of with burst of unison and +1 effect, you have 3 cards in your drop. Using the awakened leader effect to crit your life and drop 2, you have 6. You can play another 6 cost overrun. You just paid 1 energy for this turn, keep that in mind. You swing this guy, you swing twice with this guy, and you can actually spend energy on aggression, so you can play either Masked Zen or something from your Z energy, or keep the energy for the defense part. And the next turn, it's actually a turn when you could play actually a SCR and just finish the game off. Turn 3. So yeah, that's the deck. It's very consistent, does what it needs to do, kills the opponent's turn 3 or turn 4, depending if you go first or second. I really like the deck. It's very flexible. It can be aggressive, it can be defensive, because it has a lot of tools and different tools. So yeah, I really recommend you guys trying out this deck, and it's very powerful. Like, I love it. I really love how powerful this deck is. And actually, because it's black and because you play a lot of 6 drops, you go around the blue removal, okay? Because the cell requires 5 or less, which these guys are 6, so it doesn't count. And Dirty Burst wants 7 or more, so these guys doesn't count as well. The 6 energy cost, it's like the perfect energy cost for dealing with blue matchups. The only thing they can do is Beerus, but that's why you also run Super Kamehamehas, so you can counter them easily. There is another card that can deal with them that I'm testing right now, but I'm not really confident yet to bring it to the main deck or the side deck, but it's yeah, it's kind of worth consideration. So going through my matchups, first round I played against Gamma, my faint favor, very good player, very experienced player with Gamma. It was a very grindy game. I managed to see my Smoke Dragon turn 2, so I warped his Unison, and yeah, and I kept aggressing, and he ended up without resources, and I finished the game. Then I played against Red Pen. Yeah, that was a weird game. He pushed me a lot with the Vegito SCR and the Z battle, but I managed to defend it and kill him on Clapback. Game 3, to be honest, I don't remember what I played game 3. I'm sorry. Game 4 I played against my teammate Oli, shout out to him. Great game. He played the same deck. We faced the mirror match. I won the dice round, which is kind of unfortunate. As I mentioned earlier, you want to start second if you go mirror, because the aggression part of his was very big. He managed to get his SCR. I didn't get mine, I believe, or I got mine but I couldn't play it yet. And I draw shit defense, so I couldn't defend myself going into his turn 3. And yeah, I lost because of that. Then game 4, I played against Paul, my friend, very good player. He played Bardock, yellow Bardock. I didn't know the shit was coming at me. I didn't know the deck. I didn't play against this deck. That was a complete surprise factor. Caught me off guard. I went for a push turn. He managed to defend the push turn, and yeah, I died on clapback. Then round 6, I played against AOD. AOD is pretty straightforward for this deck. It's kind of like very, very advantageous on your part because you have Bardock Overrun, you have Berry Removal for the Babidi, and like your aggression is way too big for them to handle. And yeah, that was it. So I guess the shoutouts, it's what it comes next. So I shout out to my team, Team -2, the best team in Europe. Shout out to Planet Onion for having me here. Shout out to the Polish community as well. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys.